Hi everyone, I'm Emma.
I'm Jack.
Welcome to our channel. Hello everyone, welcome back to our English listening podcast. We're really happy to have you here with us today.
Yes, welcome back everyone. Whether you are listening to us while having breakfast, driving to work, walking outside, or relaxing at home, we're glad that you're spending this time with us.
Today, we're going to talk about a topic that many people can relate to. It's something that sounds simple, but it can actually be a big challenge for many adults.
That's right. Today we're talking about making friends in a new city. Moving to a new place can be exciting because everything feels fresh and full of possibilities, but it can also be lonely when you don't know anyone.
I think this topic is especially interesting because almost everyone experiences change at some point in life. Some people move because of a new job, some people move because of school, and some people move because they simply want a different lifestyle.
Exactly. A new city can give you new opportunities, but at the same time, you leave behind many familiar things. You leave behind your favorite places, your usual routines, and sometimes the people who have been part of your life for many years.
I remember when I first experienced a big change in my life. I realized that adapting to a new environment was not only about learning where things were. It was also about finding people who made the new place feel like home.
That's such an important point. Many people think that feeling comfortable in a new city only comes from knowing the area or having a stable job, but relationships are a huge part of feeling connected.
Yes, I completely agree. A city can be beautiful, exciting, and full of opportunities, but if you don't have anyone to share those experiences with, it can still feel empty.
That's true. Sometimes loneliness is not about being alone physically. You can be surrounded by thousands of people and still feel like nobody really knows you.
I think many adults understand that feeling. When we were younger, making friends seemed natural. We didn't really think about it.
Exactly. When we were children, making friends was simple. You could meet someone at school, play together for 10 minutes, and suddenly you were best friends.
It's funny when you think about it. Kids don't usually worry about whether they are interesting enough or whether someone will like them.
Yes, children are much more direct. They don't spend hours thinking about what to say. They just start talking.
But as adults, we become more careful. We have more experiences, and sometimes those experiences make us more afraid of rejection.
That's very true. Adults often think too much before starting a conversation. They might think, what if this person doesn't want to talk to me? Or what if I say something awkward?
And sometimes that fear stops people from taking the first step.
Yes, and the interesting thing is that many people are feeling exactly the same thing. They also want to make friends, but they are waiting for someone else to start.
I think that's one of the biggest lessons about friendship. Sometimes you have to be willing to be the first person who says hello.
Absolutely. A simple hello can become a conversation, and a conversation can become a friendship.
When people move to a new city, one of the first challenges they face is finding a sense of belonging. The place itself may be completely unfamiliar, and even simple daily activities can feel different.
Yes, I remember when I first moved, everything felt new. I had to find a new supermarket, a new coffee shop, a new place to exercise, and even a new route to walk. These small things seem unimportant, but they actually help you feel more comfortable.
That's very true. We often underestimate how much our routines affect our emotions. When we know where to go and what to expect, we feel safe.
Exactly. Familiar routines give us a feeling of stability. When everything around us changes, having small habits can make life feel more normal.
I think one of the hardest parts about moving is that you lose the small connections you had before.
Yes, and sometimes people don't realize how many small relationships they have until they leave. Maybe it's the person at the local bakery who knows your usual order, your neighbor who always says hello, or the coworker you used to have lunch with.
Those small interactions may not seem like deep friendships, but they create a feeling of connection.
Absolutely. Human beings need those moments of connection. Even a short conversation with someone can make your day feel better.
That's why moving to a new city can feel emotionally difficult. You're not only building a new life, you're also starting from zero socially.
That's a great way to describe it. You might have a home, a job, and everything you need, but you still need people who make you feel connected.
I remember talking to someone who moved to a different country. They told me that the first few months were exciting because everything was new, but after the excitement disappeared, they started feeling lonely.
That happens to many people. At the beginning, you are busy with practical things. You are unpacking, exploring, and learning. But later, you start realizing that you miss having someone to talk to about your day.
Yes, sometimes the hardest moment is not the first day. It's a few weeks or months later when life becomes normal.
Exactly. The first few days are full of activities, but after that you may suddenly think, I don't really know anyone here.
That feeling can be difficult, but I think it's also a turning point.
Why do you think it's a turning point?
Because that's usually when people realize they need to actively create connections instead of waiting.
That's a very important realization. Many people hope friendships will happen naturally, but as adults, we often need to put ourselves in situations where friendships can grow.
Right. You can't meet new people if you always stay in the same place and follow the same routine.
Yes, sometimes people say, I want to make new friends, but their daily life doesn't give them opportunities to meet anyone new.
That's a good point. Friendship requires opportunities.
Exactly. You need places where conversations can happen. It could be a class, a sports group, a volunteer activity, a workplace, or even a community event.
I think many people avoid these situations because they feel uncomfortable going alone.
Yes, that's a very common problem. People think, everyone will already have friends there and I'll be the only person alone.
But the truth is, many people who attend those events are also looking for connections.
Exactly. Someone else might be standing in the corner thinking the same thing you are thinking.
That's actually comforting. Maybe we are not as different from each other as we think.
Not at all. Most people want to feel accepted and understood. They want to have someone they can talk to.
I think one of the biggest skills in making friends is learning how to start simple conversations.
Yes, many people believe they need to be funny or extremely confident, but most friendships begin with ordinary conversations.
For example, asking someone about an activity you are both doing.
Right, you can say something simple like, have you been coming here for a long time? Or, what do you think about this place?
Those questions don't create pressure.
Exactly. A good conversation is not an interview. It's a way to discover something you have in common.
I like that idea. Sometimes people focus too much on trying to impress others instead of trying to understand them.
That's very true. Real connections happen when people feel comfortable being themselves.
I think being genuine is one of the most attractive qualities in friendship.
Yes, people can usually feel when someone is pretending. You don't have to act like someone else to make people like you.
That's something many people struggle with.
Yes, especially when they meet new people. They worry about saying the perfect thing or showing the best version of themselves.
But sometimes showing a little vulnerability actually helps.
Absolutely. When you share something real about yourself, other people often feel more comfortable sharing too.
For example, saying, I'm new here, so I'm still trying to meet people.
Exactly. That simple sentence can actually open a door. Other people may respond by saying, really, I was new here once too.
And suddenly, a connection begins.
Yes, sometimes friendships start from very small moments.
One thing I've noticed is that many people are not actually bad at making friends. They are just afraid of starting.
Yes, I think fear is one of the biggest barriers. A lot of people have the ability to connect with others, but they stop themselves before they even try.
Why do you think people are so afraid of starting conversations?
I think there are several reasons. One reason is that people are afraid of rejection. They don't want to feel ignored or embarrassed.
That makes sense. Nobody enjoys feeling rejected.
Exactly. Even a small rejection can feel uncomfortable. For example, if you say hello to someone and they seem uninterested, you might immediately think, maybe I shouldn't talk to people.
But sometimes, that reaction has nothing to do with you.
Yes, that's something people need to remember. Maybe that person is tired, distracted, or having a difficult day. It doesn't always mean they don't like you.
That's a very important lesson. We often take things personally.
Definitely. We create stories in our minds without knowing the full situation.
I think another reason people hesitate is because they compare themselves with others.
That's very true. They look at people who seem confident and social and they think, I could never be like that.
But they don't see the other person's struggles.
Exactly. Someone who looks confident today may have spent years learning how to communicate better.
That reminds me of something. Confidence is often not something people are born with. It's something they build through experience.
I completely agree. Confidence comes from doing things repeatedly and realizing that you can handle different situations.
So the more conversations you have, the easier it becomes.
Yes, it's like learning any skill. The first time you do something, it feels uncomfortable, but with practice, it becomes natural.
That's a great comparison. Making friends is also a skill.
Absolutely. Some people think friendship is only about personality, but there are actually skills involved. Listening, asking questions, showing interest, and communicating clearly are all important.
I like that. It means people can improve.
Yes, someone who is shy today can become much more comfortable in the future.
I think many people underestimate their ability to change.
That's true. Sometimes people say, I'm just a shy person, as if personality can never change.
But people change throughout life.
Exactly. Our experiences shape us. Meeting new people, trying new things, and facing challenges can completely change how we see ourselves.
Did you consider yourself a shy person when you were younger?
Actually, yes. When I was younger, I was much quieter. I usually waited for other people to talk to me first.
Really? I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yes, because people only see who you are now. They don't always know the journey behind it.
That's interesting. So what helped you become more comfortable socially?
I think moving to new places helped me a lot. Every time I entered a new environment, I had to learn how to communicate with different people.
That sounds challenging, but also valuable.
It was. At first, I didn't enjoy the uncomfortable feeling, but later I realized those moments were helping me grow.
Sometimes the things we avoid are exactly the things that help us improve.
That's very true. Growth usually happens when we step outside our comfort zone.
I think that's especially true for friendships.
Yes, if you only stay with people you already know, you feel comfortable, but you may miss opportunities to meet amazing people.
That's a good point. Comfort is nice, but it can sometimes limit us.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with enjoying comfort, but sometimes we need to take small risks.
Small risks, like saying hello to someone new.
Yes, a small action can create a big change.
I remember one time I started talking to someone at a bookstore. It was just a short conversation about a book, but we ended up becoming good friends.
That's a perfect example. You never know where a simple conversation might lead.
I think many people imagine friendship starts with a dramatic moment.
Yes, but usually it doesn't. Most friendships begin in ordinary situations.
Like a conversation at work, a shared class, or a random meeting.
Exactly. Life-changing relationships often begin in very simple ways.
That's actually encouraging, because it means anyone can create those moments.
Yes, you don't need a perfect situation. You just need to be open to possibilities.
I think openness is one of the most important qualities when moving to a new city.
Absolutely. If you move somewhere new but refuse to experience anything different, it becomes much harder to feel connected.
That's true. A new city offers many opportunities, but we have to be willing to explore.
Yes, sometimes people complain that they can't make friends, but they rarely leave their usual routine.
It's easy to fall into that pattern.
Very easy. You go to work, come home, watch something online, and repeat the same schedule every day.
And after a while, you wonder why nothing changes.
Exactly. Change usually requires action.
I think that's a powerful message for anyone listening who feels lonely.
Yes, if you want different results, you often need to try different things.
One of the best ways to meet people in a new city is through activities. I think shared experiences naturally bring people together.
Yes, I completely agree. When you do something together with other people, conversations become much easier because you already have something in common.
That's true. If you meet someone at a random place, sometimes you don't know what to talk about.
Exactly. But when you join a class, a sports group, or a community event, you already have a starting point.
For example, if you join a cooking class, you can naturally talk about the recipe, the ingredients, or the experience.
Yes, and those small conversations can slowly become deeper conversations.
I think many friendships develop this way. They don't start with a deep personal discussion. They start with something simple.
That's right. Maybe you first talk about a class, then you talk about hobbies, then you discover that you have similar interests.
And after several conversations, that person is no longer a stranger.
Exactly. Friendship is usually built through repeated interactions.
That's an important point. Many people expect friendships to happen immediately.
Yes, but strong friendships usually take time. You need opportunities to understand each other.
I think that's why moving to a new city can feel difficult. You have to rebuild those connections from the beginning.
That's true. In your hometown, you may have friends because you grew up together. You went to the same school, lived in the same neighborhood, or shared many experiences.
But in a new city, you have to create those shared experiences.
Exactly. You have to start building your own history with new people.
I like that idea. Friendship is like creating a collection of memories together.
Yes, and those memories don't need to be huge events. Sometimes the smallest moments become the most meaningful.
Like having coffee after work or walking around the city together.
Exactly. Those simple moments create familiarity and trust.
I think another important thing is being consistent. You can meet someone once, but friendship grows when you continue the connection.
Yes, many people meet someone interesting but never follow up.
Why do you think that happens?
I think people are busy, but sometimes they are also afraid. They might think, maybe I'm bothering this person.
That's interesting, because the other person might be thinking the same thing.
Exactly. Both people may want to continue the friendship, but both are waiting for the other person to make the next move.
That happens a lot.
Yes, sometimes friendship doesn't continue because nobody takes action.
So maybe sending a simple message can make a difference.
Definitely something like, "It was nice talking with you today. Would you like to get coffee sometime?" is enough.
That sounds simple, but many people find it difficult.
Yes, because it requires a little courage. You are showing interest, and that can make you feel vulnerable.
But vulnerability is part of building real relationships.
Absolutely. If you never show any effort, people may not know that you want to connect.
That's a good point. Sometimes we expect others to understand our feelings without showing them.
Yes, but communication is important. People cannot read our minds.
I think this applies not only to new friendships, but also existing friendships.
Definitely. Even long-term friendships need attention.
Let's talk about workplace friendships, because many adults meet people through work.
That's a very common way to make friends. Since we spend so much time at work, coworkers can become an important part of our social lives.
But I think workplace friendships can be complicated.
Yes, because there is a balance. You want to build good relationships, but you also need to maintain professionalism.
That's true. A coworker can become a close friend, but you still have responsibilities at work.
Exactly. Good workplace friendships are often built on respect and trust.
What makes a coworker become a real friend?
I think it happens when you start connecting beyond work topics. Instead of only talking about projects, you begin sharing personal experiences.
For example, talking about hobbies, family, or weekend plans.
Yes, those conversations help people see each other as individuals, not just coworkers.
I think small moments at work can create connections.
Definitely. Having lunch together, helping each other with tasks, or simply checking in can make a difference.
Sometimes a person remembers who supported them during a difficult time.
That's true. When someone helps you during a stressful moment, it can create a strong bond.
I think kindness is one of the foundations of friendship.
Absolutely. People remember how you make them feel.
That's a famous idea, and I think it's true.
Yes, you may forget exactly what someone said, but you often remember whether they made you feel respected and valued.
That's why small acts of kindness matter.
Exactly. A simple message asking, "How are you doing?" can mean a lot.
Especially when someone is going through a difficult period.
Yes, sometimes people don't need solutions. They just need someone who cares.
I think there is a big difference between knowing someone and truly becoming friends with someone.
Yes, that's a very important difference. You can meet many people in your life, but only some of them become people you can really trust.
Exactly. You might know someone's name, talk to them occasionally, and see them often, but that doesn't always mean you have a real friendship.
Right. A real friendship usually requires more time and more personal connection.
So, what do you think is the moment when an acquaintance becomes a friend?
That's an interesting question. I think it happens when people start feeling comfortable enough to be themselves.
I like that answer. Comfort is a big part of friendship.
Yes, when you don't have to pretend, when you don't have to carefully choose every word, and when you feel accepted, that's when a connection becomes stronger.
I think many people spend a lot of energy trying to impress others when they first meet.
That's true, especially when we really want someone to like us. We sometimes show only the best parts of ourselves.
But nobody is perfect.
Exactly. And interestingly, people often connect more deeply when they see someone being honest and real.
That's a good point. Sometimes admitting small weaknesses can make people feel closer.
Yes, for example, saying, "I'm still trying to get used to this city," can actually create a connection because another person may have experienced the same thing.
So sharing experiences creates understanding.
Exactly. People connect through similarities, but they also connect through differences.
That's interesting. What do you mean by differences?
Sometimes meeting someone different from us helps us learn and grow. They may have a different background, different opinions, or a different way of seeing life.
I agree. Good friendships don't always require two people to be exactly the same.
Right. In fact, sometimes the best friendships happen between people who are different but respect each other.
That reminds me of international friendships. When you meet someone from another country, you may discover a completely different perspective.
Yes, and that can be very exciting. You learn about their culture, their traditions, and their experiences.
But sometimes, cultural differences can also create misunderstandings.
Of course, different backgrounds can mean different communication styles.
For example, some cultures are more direct, while others are more indirect.
Exactly. One person might think they are being honest, while another person might feel they are being too direct.
So understanding is important.
Yes, good friendships require curiosity. Instead of judging someone immediately, try to understand why they think that way.
I think that's a valuable skill in any relationship.
Absolutely. Listening with the intention of understanding is very different from listening only to reply.
That's a great point.
Many people are waiting for their chance to speak, but they are not truly listening.
And when people feel listened to, they feel valued.
Exactly. Being a good listener is one of the best ways to build trust.
I think this is something people sometimes forget. They focus on being interesting, but they forget to be interested.
That's a great way to say it. You don't need to be the most entertaining person. Showing genuine interest is often more powerful.
So asking questions is important.
Yes, but the questions should feel natural. You don't want someone to feel like they are being interviewed.
Right. Friendship should feel like a conversation, not an investigation.
Exactly. If someone tells you they enjoy traveling, you can ask about their favorite places or memorable experiences.
Then the conversation naturally continues.
Yes, good conversations are usually built on curiosity.
I think another important step in friendship is spending time together outside of the original situation.
For example, if you meet someone at work, eventually you may want to spend time together outside of work.
Yes, because you learn more about someone when you see different parts of their life.
Exactly. Someone may be a quiet person at work but very funny with close friends.
That's true. Different environments show different sides of people.
Yes, that's why spending time together in different situations helps friendships grow.
But inviting someone to spend time together can feel scary.
Definitely, many people worry about rejection.
They might think, what if they don't want to hang out with me?
Yes, but it's important to remember that an invitation is not a demand. You are simply giving someone an opportunity.
That's a healthy way to look at it.
Exactly, you can say, "Would you like to get coffee sometime?" If they are busy, it doesn't necessarily mean they don't like you.
That's true. People have different schedules and responsibilities.
Yes, we should not create negative stories too quickly.
I think this is a common problem. We often assume the worst.
Exactly. Someone doesn't reply immediately and we think they don't care. Someone cancels plans and we think they don't value the friendship.
But there can be many other explanations.
Right, good communication helps prevent misunderstandings.
So if you want to build friendships, you need patience.
Yes, strong friendships usually grow slowly. They are built through many small moments.
Not one perfect conversation.
Exactly. One conversation can start a friendship, but many experiences create a strong friendship.
I really like that idea.
Me too. Relationships are like plants. They need attention and care to grow.
That's a beautiful comparison.
Yes, if you never water a plant, it cannot grow. Friendships are similar.
You have to make time, show appreciation, and stay connected.
Exactly. Even small efforts can keep a friendship alive.
One thing I've learned about friendship is that making friends is only the beginning. Keeping friendships strong is another challenge.
Yes, I think many people focus on how to meet new people, but they don't always think about how to maintain relationships over time.
That's true. A friendship doesn't continue automatically just because two people like each other.
Exactly. Life changes, schedules become busy, and people have different responsibilities. Without effort, even good friendships can slowly become distant.
I think this is especially true for adults.
Yes, when we are younger, we often see our friends every day. We go to the same school, live nearby, or spend many hours together.
But as adults, everyone starts having different lives.
Right, one person may become busy with work, another may start a family, and someone else may move to another city.
Sometimes people think a friendship ended because they don't talk as often.
Yes, but less communication doesn't always mean less care. Sometimes people are simply going through different stages of life.
That's an important difference.
Absolutely. A strong friendship is not measured only by how often you talk. It is also about the quality of the connection.
I agree. Some people may not talk every day, but when they meet again, everything still feels natural.
Exactly. Those friendships are special because they are built on trust and understanding.
I think many people worry about losing friends when life changes.
Yes, and sometimes that fear makes people feel sad. They think, "We used to be so close. Why are things different now?"
But change is a natural part of life.
That's right. People change, situations change, and relationships also change.
I think accepting change is an important part of becoming mature.
Yes, not every friendship is meant to stay exactly the same forever.
Some friendships are important for a certain period of life.
Exactly. Some people come into our lives and teach us something valuable, even if they don't stay forever.
That's a beautiful way to see relationships.
Yes, instead of only focusing on losing someone, we can appreciate the experiences we shared.
I think many people hold on too tightly because they are afraid of change.
That's true, but sometimes letting relationships change naturally allows both people to grow.
It doesn't mean the friendship was meaningless.
Exactly. A friendship can be meaningful even if it changes.
That's a very positive perspective.
Thank you. I think every person we meet leaves something with us. Maybe they teach us patience, kindness, confidence, or a new way of thinking.
I love that idea. Every relationship is a learning experience.
Yes, even difficult friendships can teach us important lessons.
For example,
Maybe they teach us about communication. Maybe they teach us what kind of relationships we want in the future.
that's true. Sometimes we learn from problems.
Exactly. A misunderstanding with a friend can teach us how important honesty and communication are.
Speaking of communication, I think many friendships struggle because people don't express their feelings.
Yes, sometimes people assume their friends already know they care.
But people cannot always know what we feel.
Right? Sometimes a simple sentence like, "I appreciate you," can mean a lot.
I think expressing appreciation is something we should do more often.
Definitely. Many people wait until a special occasion to show gratitude, but small daily expressions of appreciation are powerful.
For example, checking on a friend.
Yes, sending a message like, "I hope you're having a good day," can show someone that they matter.
Those small actions build strong relationships.
Exactly. Friendship is not only about big moments, it's also about small, consistent efforts.
I think this connects to the idea of being a supportive friend.
Yes, a supportive friend is not someone who only appears during happy moments. They are also there during difficult times.
That's a good point.
Anyone can celebrate your success, but a true friend also stays when things are challenging.
I think everyone needs someone like that.
Yes, life is not always easy, and having someone who listens and supports you can make a huge difference.
Have you ever helped a friend through a difficult period?
Yes, I have. I remember one friend who was going through a stressful time at work. They felt overwhelmed and didn't know what to do.
What did you do to help?
Honestly, I didn't try to solve everything for them. I simply listened and reminded them that they were not alone.
That's actually very meaningful.
Yes, sometimes people don't need someone to fix their problems. They just need someone who understands.
I think many people make the mistake of giving advice too quickly.
That's true. We often want to help, so we immediately offer solutions. But sometimes listening is the best support.
That's a valuable lesson.
Yes, being there for someone is sometimes more important than having the perfect answer.
I think this is why emotional connection matters so much in friendship.
Absolutely. Friendship is not only about having fun together, it's also about feeling safe enough to share your real thoughts and feelings.
That feeling of safety is important.
Yes, when you trust someone, you can be honest without worrying about being judged.
And that kind of friendship takes time.
Exactly. Trust is built slowly through actions, not just words.
I think after talking about friendship for such a long time, one thing becomes very clear. Meaningful relationships don't happen by accident.
Yes, I agree. Whether you are living in a new city or you have been in the same place for many years, friendships require openness, patience, and effort.
I think many people hope to find the perfect friend, but maybe the more important thing is learning how to become a good friend ourselves.
That's a great point. Sometimes we focus too much on what we want from others, but we forget to think about what we can give to a friendship.
Exactly. A good friendship is not about one person always giving and another person always receiving.
Yes, healthy friendships are built on mutual care, respect, and understanding.
I also think moving to a new city teaches people many things. It can be uncomfortable at first, but it can help us become stronger.
Absolutely. When we are forced to step outside our comfort zone, we discover abilities we didn't know we had.
For example, someone who thinks they are shy may discover they can actually connect with many different people.
Yes, growth often happens during moments that feel difficult.
Looking back, I think some of the hardest experiences in life can become the most valuable ones.
That's true. The moments when we feel uncertain or uncomfortable often teach us the most.
And making friends in a new city is not only about finding other people. It is also about discovering ourselves.
Exactly. Through meeting different people, we learn more about what we value, what we enjoy, and what kind of relationships are important to us.
I really like that idea.
Me too. Every conversation, every friendship, and every experience can help us understand life in a deeper way.
So if someone listening today has recently moved to a new city and feels lonely, what advice would you give them?
I would say don't be afraid to take small steps. You don't need to make 10 new friends immediately. Start with one conversation, one activity, or one simple hello.
That's wonderful advice.
Also, remember that many other people are looking for connections too. You are probably not the only person who feels nervous.
That's something important to remember.
Yes, sometimes the person sitting next to you is also hoping someone will start a conversation.
I think a small moment of courage can change someone's life.
Absolutely. A simple conversation today could become a meaningful friendship in the future.
That's a beautiful thought to end on.
Yes, life is full of opportunities to meet people, learn from them, and create memories together.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
We hope this conversation helped you practice your English listening skills and also gave you something to think about.
Remember, improving English is a journey. The more you listen, the more natural English will become.
And remember, friendships are also a journey. They take time, effort, and care, but they can make our lives much more meaningful.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode.
Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Take care, keep learning, and have a wonderful day.
Goodbye, everyone. See you next time.